as sustainable partners for your digital future. For this, may I request and invite on stage Amit Agrawal, Chief Business Officer of Werks Iron Mountain Data Center, where he is responsible for business strategies, partnerships, marketing, monetization, growth, and expanding the company's presence in India. Thank you so much, and over to you, sir.
Thanks a lot. And thanks, Anil, for giving a refresher course of data center right from layer 0 to layer 7. So you covered all the OSI layers in the data center in a half an hour's time. This actually also reminded me of my school days. Once you had gone to your school and there was some mathematics lecture, and after 45 minutes or after 30 minutes, you were like, now it is over. And then the teacher said, there's one more session of mathematics, and then you completed that half an hour, and then he said that I have taken the next lecture also. So I am the third lecture of the data center which is happening today, and so I will try to be as innovative as possible. It's very difficult for me to cover what Anil has covered up, given his vast knowledge. But what I would like to cover in the data center part is that how this sustainability, and we talked about sustainability from the last two speakers also spoke about sustainability and how they are putting across the sustainability or the green power in the data centers. How this sustainability can be a sustainable model for the enterprises is something I would like to cover in my presentation. We all, again, the refresher part of it, why data centers, and I think you can see from the board itself, there are at least about 4 to 5 data center players who have been part of this particular forum. And the reason is that there is a huge demand of data centers in India. Everybody is thriving as far as data centers is concerned, whether they were traditional players, whether these are new players, whether there are global players who are coming to the market, all of them are thriving. And specifically because of the reason that India as a country is thriving on the digitalization. Whether it is data being created by the users, whether the data being consumed by the users, whether it is telecom explosion in India, whether it is entertainment industry that boomed after the COVID or before the COVID, or it was the application. Today, I think we have application for each and every work that we do. Today itself, after a lot of cajoling from my wife, I started walking, and the first application that I downloaded was Google Fit. And since morning I've been seeing how many steps I have already taken. So I think the apps have become part and parcel of our lives, and the kind of data that we are generating as a nation is tremendous. You see, as far as commerce is concerned, I think UPI has been a success story all across. We are not following what world is saying today. We are actually guiding the world that what can be the models that can be taken care of. So UPI has been successfully like that. We have the largest fintech ecosystem that is getting developed in India. The third largest application, the entertainment application, which got downloaded worldwide, was 𝗍𝘂𝗋 after Netflix and YouTube. So you can see in terms of the stride that India is taking, not only from the consumption but also in terms of how it is being distributed and how it is being consumed. COVID, all of us had different times. I would not say terrible times or pleasant times, but we had a different time where we learned different things. We learned how to work from home. We learned how to collaborate over various platforms. We learned how to think about the other aspects of life other than work and the money. So, but it also ensured that we digitized fast. So whatever digitization that could happen in a decade's time, it happened in a 2 years time frame. So we digitized a lot, whether it was banks, whether it was manufacturing companies, whether it was IoT, everything came so fast that it made our life easy. It made us realize that yes, there can be different models of consumption that can be done. What it led to was that India became a data refinery. So, while announcing the data center policy also of various states and data center being included as a part of infrastructure industry, the minister said that India will become a data refinery. The data will come and data will get refined. We get meaningful insights from the data. And data centers are the nerve centers for that. So today you can see that at present we have around 138 data centers of between all of us. We have 138 data centers which are consuming about 750 megawatt of power. But if you see by 2025 we will have 50 more additions of data centers, and the kind of power that will get consumed would be around 1,750. So we would be adding almost the capacity that we have built over last 15 years, we will be doing it in next 3 years. And this will happen because the reasons which I told earlier. Cloud spending also will be growing. Anil spoke about cloud adoption and repatriation, and it's amazing that India is seeing both at the same time. Other countries are seeing cloud adoption at a particular time and cloud repatriation at a different time, but in India we are seeing both the technologies or both the trends happening simultaneously, and this gives a more challenge for the IT people like us, data center people like us, in terms of matching the requirements of the customers. Now, apart from the complex IT environment, apart from the security, the ubiquitousness of the application, the scale of application, the very important part, as in every organization, that today or tomorrow will come is in terms of your sustainability goals. Today we are seeing that trends in the larger organizations where, because of COP26, they are looking for the sustainability goals. But I think it will hit each and every organization today or tomorrow, and we need to be ready for that. And data centers. We all spoke about why data centers are very good. Why you should not have in-house data centers. In fact, Nextra CEO and Anil spoke about how can you save your power consumption, or you can optimize your power consumptions by coming to data centers because we optimize them. But worldwide, there is a perception that data centers are energy guzzlers. And this is right, because today if you see, as a comparison, we are all facing heat wave in Bombay, right? We have not seen these kind of temperatures from long. Yesterday I was out on the roads, and I think the temperature was 39 or 38, or it may have crossed 40. I was feeling as if it has crossed 40. And I also saw a report that in last week the power consumption of Mumbai crossed 3,600 megawatts. Now that was a big news that transmission companies are saying that between both the transmission companies, they are having 3,600 of megawatt power which is required for Bombay, right? But at the other end, if you see Navi Mumbai area, the stretch that we are talking about, 𝗂𝗏𝗏 consumes about 350 megawatt of power. Now that's a concentrated load. So one, you have a lot of concentrated load. Worldwide also, data center is estimated to consume 1/10 of global energy being produced. In Bombay, we are already seeing that, and if you see the growth in 𝗂𝗏𝗏, it will cross about 700 megawatt. And if Bombay doesn't process 3,600 megawatt, I think we will be consuming 20% of what Mumbai consumes in a particular belt of 10 to 15 kilometers, and in not more than 25 to 30 odd buildings. So just imagine the kind of concentrated load you have. And today all the data centers, wherever we are talking about all these data centers, the new data centers, the green data centers, we are talking about efficiency. But what about the older data centers? They had some inefficient cooling systems because their PUE was low. And we at Werks also face the same thing, because our smaller data center we have inefficiency, but in the new data centers we have brought all the factors of efficiency, which will help in terms of reducing the footprint of the customers. data centers, that because of that you have more energy consumption. I think the other thing that needs to be ensured is in terms of what is the IT which is being used. These are little dated slides, but the idea is that whichever hardware is about 7 to 8 years old, it has an efficiency of only 4% performance and it consumes 60% of the server energy. So, as an organization, if you have not gone ahead with your IT refresh at a proper cycle, you will never be able to reap the benefits of the green data centers or anything that you use as a technology. You need to be very agile in terms of what is the kind of hardware that you use. And that's where the cloud adoption of newer players is always beneficial because you get that kind of data centers on the overall data center industry consumes more power than some countries put together. If you put together Nigeria, Colombia, Argentina, I think we as a data center industry we consume more power than these countries put together. So that's the kind of and it is important because data centers keep internet running. Again, all of us are working towards the optimization of our power consumption because that's a huge, what I would say, concern as far as data center is concerned, and that's a huge area for us to innovate. So all of us in the data center industry and enterprise companies, working together, we are trying to optimize that. What should be our priority for sustainability? But do we know in terms of what is causing us? At one end, we are talking about all the MEPs, that is mechanical and electrical environment, and we are talking about how to optimize, how to do the containment, how to do more IoT. Today, in some countries they have also asked to initially develop a digital twin before approving the data center plan of a company. So Singapore, for example, has a policy that you need to show the digital twin to ensure that what would be your energy consumption, and then they would be allowing the data centers to be built. So we have concentrated more as far as facilities are concerned, but have we seen in terms of what is the efficiency that we can bring from within? Inefficient hardware. Some of the hardware, very old hardware are being used within the data. These are, you are not getting an optimal output out of it, but you are just consuming, and that is increasing the heat dissipation. Over provision. I think each one of you in the enterprise, whenever you have spoken about a data center industry, you would have come across a discussion where you would have said, "This is my power consumption," versus a data center telling you how much is your data center power consumption. Some of the data centers work on the rated capacity, you work on your peak capacity, and there is always a discussion. However, in both scenarios, whether you design it for peak load or whether you design it for rated capacity, you are over provisioning. And if you over provision and underutilize, your efficiency is going to go down. Inefficient cooling systems. Traditionally, there was a requirement. Smaller data centers were using DX, they were not using chiller power plant, and hence, the overall efficiency was low. But today, I think, most of the data centers have passed through that particular stage. They have graduated to a stage where they are all using the efficient cooling systems and poor server utilization. Again, coming again from the IT part of it, that if you require X computing, you provision for X plus 16. So that's again something which brings down the overall efficiency. And as a customer, when you talk about your digital footprint, you can also optimize on this. And last but not the least, and I'm sure each one of the data center people will echo with me. Wherever there is a discussion in terms of green, people ask, do you use green power? If you say yes, then they would immediately come down and say that what would be the power charges for you. Right? So decisions are not, decisions are not based upon innovativeness or the investment that an organization would have done to procure the green power, but it would be more in terms of what is the cost saving that I can get if you are using the green power. So how much you can bring down the cost of power for you. So if the decisions are taken from the, only decisions are taken from the cost rather than the sustainability, then yes, I think there is some problem. We need to understand it. Worldwide, I think Anil spoke about that. We as a country have abundant resources, right? And that's the reason why we can afford to scale our data center industry as well. Today, tomorrow, at least for 10-15 years, we don't have that kind of a constraint. But just think about these countries where they have already started feeling the heat. Netherlands, ongoing 9 months moratorium for large data centers. So they have told that nobody will be allowed to build more data centers. Singapore, they had moratorium for a very long period of time, and now they are saying that you tell us that this is the digital footprint. You create a digital twin, you show us that you will be using a PV of 1.3. If you convince that you will be utilizing a PV of 1.3, then we can allow you to expand your data centers. USA, facing a challenge. California was the first state which said there no more data centers. China, of all the places, all the DCs completed 2021, they have to go on renewable energy, and by 2030 they have to be 100% of renewable energy. So these are the guidelines being followed. Today, we have very conducive policies. We have abundant resources which are available as far as renewable sources of energy is concerned, and we are in a much better position worldwide to flourish, to have a flourishing data center industry. As a country, I think COP26, we said we will, as a country, we will be going net zero, and I think all of us, including the data centers, have this social responsibility to go net zero. And that's where I think what, as an organization, what we do is we started our journey way back in 2016. We started our commitment that we will be going green as a complete iron mountain data centers. By 2017, worldwide IMDC total data centers outside India, they went on 100% renewable energy. So this was within a span of 1 year that we went all across. And mind you, we are talking about not a capacity of megawatts. I'm talking about half a gigawatt of capacity. Just lay out words, it is 500 megawatts, but half a gigawatt of capacity in 1 year's time frame being converted everything into a renewable source of energy. We have pledged that all our new data centers would be green buildings. We need to achieve all 𝗲𝗏 certification. So for all the new buildings that we will be doing, we have said that by 2030 we will be going carbon neutral. So by neutral data centers by 2030, we will be all completing that particular aspect. And way before, we will be going green as far as our overall data center operations are concerned. We, as an organization, we not only care about people, we also talk about water utilization effectiveness. Like Anil said that they are also treating the water and then reusing the water. So water usage efficiency and carbon usage efficiency. So all three parameters are being factored when we talk about the sustainability goals of us. We went one step ahead, and we also acquired a company which is into asset lifecycle management. So today, as a group, Iron Mountain, we are not only helping customers to migrate in a sustainable data centers, but also ensuring that they do their IT refresh with some kind of benefits that can accrue to them from the asset lifecycle management, where we buy back the old resources and consume it in a very different way. So we are completing the whole cycle. And what we are also innovators is that we share our benefits with the customers. So worldwide, we are the only company who is providing Green Power Pass. We will be shortly launching this in India also. But worldwide, we are providing Green Power Pass to our customers who are part of our data centers. This helps the organizations also to get the carbon credits by this green power. And we have the climate pledge. I've already spoken about that. 2025 we go on 90% renewable electricity corporate-wide. So it is not only the data centers, but as an Iron Mountain goal, as a corporate, we will be doing 90% by 2025. And we are well on our way in terms of our commitments to the industry or the self-commitment that we have made as an organization from the data center perspective. Just to give you a little perspective as to what we are, because I spoke about what we have already done, but what we are, we operate almost 21 data centers across the world. So we have around 10 data centers in US, North America. We have 4 data centers in India. We have a data center in Singapore, and now we have 6 data centers in India. This is a recent development. 31st of January, we launched 3 green data centers or 3 greenfield data centers. One in Mumbai, one in Bangalore, one in Hyderabad. So these are all the data centers that we have today. We operate more than 630 or 0.6 gigawatt of capacity, total data center capacity. Apart from your journey towards co-location or consolidating your IT resources, we also help in terms of the complete co-location and the cloud services where we provide single-tenant, multi-tenant, bare-metal servers, cloud-managed services, and the complete whole set of services that we offer to the customers. Network, as I'll just take 2 more minutes. So, network, as explained earlier by my is a very important aspect when you're talking about the data center, because that's where the actual proof of the pudding is, how fast you are getting connected to the external world. And I think that's where Werks in India has a huge advantage, because our data center is more of a carrier hotel, where more than 200 ISPs are converging. We have access to 1 million eyeballs, because these 200 odd ISPs which are converging to our data centers cater to about 1 million eyeballs. We have availability of the content nodes through either the CDNs or the content provider themselves in our data center. We have availability of all 4 internet exchange providers who are available in Bombay. So we can provide faster connectivity, better connectivity to all the assets that you host in our data center. And a very strong pointer about cloud repatriation or a hybrid strategy is in terms of how fast you can connect to the cloud. Anil spoke about 6 millisecond, 4 millisecond, 2 millisecond kind of delays that you have to have between the different assets that you are owning, and we can facilitate that too by cloud on ramp, which is facilitated through our exchange providers or exchange partners. So this is something that is very unique. You can get better connectivity, faster connectivity in a sustainable data center at Werks Iron Mountain Data Centers. Thank you. Thanks for being a very patient listeners. I think this was the 3rd data center, and I tried to be as different as I could be, but the content was same. Sorry. We are around. We have our booth in that exhibition area. So please feel free to drop by and meet us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Sorry. Can I take a question?
Yes.
Yeah. Customer will get the PO below around 1.3 or 1.1, whatever.
No, I think very valid point, sir. That each one of us is talking about a design PUE of 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3 with all the initiatives that we can take from the cooling perspective. But as I said, that there is a dependency on the enterprise also, in terms of what could be their provisioning, what could be their IT setup. And because we are dealing with multiple customers in our data centers and at different multiple point in time, so the operating PUE is little bit higher than the design PUE that we do, and hence it fluctuates between 1.5 to 1.7. So just to be on a safer side of it, we as a data center practice altogether, we call it as 1.7. But I think soon you will see that these benefits are accruing, and you will have better optimal efficiency, and you will see that it will go down to 1.5, it will go down to 1.4. Some of the data centers are also talking about immersive technology. So when you buy the hardware, you can actually have the liquid cooled servers or immersive cooled servers, which can take your PUE to 1.1, 1.2. So, in discussion along with the data centers, yes, there could be innovative things that you can be worked out and you can get a better PUE. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can have more questions one-to-one later as well with all the speakers till now.